Hello, welcome back to continuity of our part 2 of the same video on CBT. Apologies for the technical errors, but thank you so much for continuing on this one because it's a continuity of the one that let us down. Too much information was packed in the first video. It seemed like such a waste to discard it just because of a small technical glitch. Thank you so much for staying with me and thank you for your understanding. Apologies for such technical glitches. We live and learn. So, in the spirit of continuing, if you could familiarize yourself with a site called the CBT Bank, where there are so many questions, more than 1,000 questions that were previously asked in other CBT tests. So this is a place where you find different questions on infection control, on leadership, and so much more. And these questions are repeated from time to time because, to be fair, the practice, yes, there are some changes. The practice is evolving, but generally speaking, some of the things are really pretty much the same. They do not change. So these questions are rotated from exam paper to exam paper. So it's not a bad idea to glance at these questions and start familiarizing yourself with them in advance before you sit for your first one. So you'll notice the more you do this that many of the questions are based around things such as drug administration, drug calculation, patient safety, communication, wound management, just general nursing stuff like that. But familiarize yourself with the NMC code. So it's just important to start familiarizing yourself with such. The Royal Marsden Manual is a nursing textbook that is thought to have all the answers to the CBT just because it covers so many subjects. It's so broad. Maybe something you can even get from your local library. You don't have to spend money doing these things, but just try to source what you can source and read judiciously, not word for word, not every page, but just familiarize yourself with the contents of the headings, the subjects. You already have experience, assumably, even if you don't have, but just be familiar with the different headings and topics that the textbook, the Royal Marsden Manual entails. I'll put it in the description box below. If you cannot lay your hand on this textbook, it's not the end of the world. Go back to the CBT Bank questions where you will find a whole lot of questions. Yes, they're repeated. The point would be for you to learn and go through them with an understanding, with an aim of understanding rather than trying to memorize the answers. Just because it can be paraphrased and be worded differently in the next question when you sit for your exams, you need to still be able to answer it, even if it's phrased differently to the one you've studied. So the CBT Bank questions, it's still your to-go-to place with more than 1,000 questions. I also need to say in the exam, you will be given an erasable board that you can use for your rough work for things such as drug calculations. And to be fair, they are the simplest version of drug calculations you can imagine. You might even get given an example, say, if they say your patient is on X medication, suppose what? 800 milligrams, and in your ward you have stock of 200 milligrams. How many of these tablets are you going to give? So such simple numeracy things just to really see if you have an understanding and you are understanding safe administration of medication and calculation, but nothing that's going to require you to have a calculator necessarily. Just some of the tips I might even forget to tell you about. When you are at the test center, it might feel like you're alone. Do not be tempted to cheat. Do not be tempted to do anything strange because there are CCTV cameras. And remember, these do not blink. So any strange thing like trying to take out your phone, and generally in the centers, phones are not even allowed. There's a locker in which you leave all your belongings, such as devices and things like that. So they will be kept safely and you will have access to them again when you finish writing. So resist the temptation to look at anything odd or funny that you brought because the camera is looking at you. You're in essence on Big Brother for those 4 hours. So your best behavior will see you go places. And you just don't want a penalty of being disqualified for something so silly, which you could have given your best attempt. The other tip I'd like to give you is be punctual. If you are just 15 minutes late to your venue or going into your test center, you will not be allowed to go in, and you lose that money, you forfeit that money. So get there early, rather be early and just hover about the center than getting there late running only to find that you're just 17 minutes late and you're not allowed to write. It's a waste of your time and your money, plus all that energy that you invested in preparing for this exam. So yes, those tips might come in handy. Should you feel like you need any information on previous CBT questions, please drop me your email below in the description box. I will gladly share with you some of the material I have access to. Or if you need information on IELTS, drop me a line in the email below. In the inbox, I will be in touch pretty soon. You may be asked things such as, what is the role of the NMC? And get given 4 possible answers to choose from, as an example, as one of the many questions I've seen rotating around. Bearing in mind that all these questions you're going to encounter are based on the UK practice. So when you respond, don't respond according to the knowledge of what you know things to be in your country. Familiarize yourself with the NMC code so that your questions are relevant for the UK. Although your answer might be right based on what the standards in your country, but this particular question will be asking you to respond according to the practice in the UK. They tend to ask very similar questions. You may even be asked, what is the purpose of the NMC? Which, if you think about it, is not very much different to the first question, which is a real question they have asked. You will be provided with 4 possible answers, from which you obviously need to choose just the one. So, how did we even get this far without even me asking you to show your support for the channel, to subscribe to the channel, to share this video, to like, to comment, and let me know what aspect of the video you enjoyed the most, or what aspect you found helpful, or what aspect of this content you'd like more clarity on. Thank you so much for subscribing. Help this channel to grow. Thank you so much for staying on the channel and coming back. Continue to share your love and support. It also inspires me to make more content that's going to change your life. We look forward to seeing you on these shows, on the UK shows. I look forward to being part of your success journey. I'm more than happy to hold your hand through the process and watch you transform and change your life and give your life a brand new start. I look forward to having you over here, and thank you once more for staying on the channel. Having said all of this, go out there and smash that CBT test. It's yours, it's in the bag. Feedback, if you get it, let me know. If you're struggling with any issues, let me know. I'd like to see what areas you're struggling with and help you provide with some of the information I may have access to. I'm also looking to see if I can do a separate video that covers a sample question of some of the previous CBT questions, just so you see how easy it seems to be, but also how confusing it can be because the answers are so similar. So you're needing to read very carefully and practice with these as much as possible. I look forward to having you over here. Stay in touch and remain on the cusp as we evolve with Daphne. Do not forget to share, to subscribe, to like, to comment. As I always say, thanking you for your support. See you on the next one, and let me know what content you'd like me to publish for you next time.